Hi guys, welcome to another exciting episode of Talk with Her with Mary. And of course, as promised the last time, I told you guys that we are going to be having our last special guest back. I know you guys already have an idea what I'm talking about. And that's Ashley, our beautiful, amazing CEO, Ashley.
Hey everyone, I'm so excited to be back. Thank you before ready to be back.
Always a joy to be in your presence. All hail the Queen,
Girl, please.
Mary.
I am so happy that you came back. I couldn't wait for this episode because after our last podcast, The Soft Life, oh my God, I've gotten a lot of feedback from people, no joking, even on the YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm getting like people, sending me messages and they're like, oh my God, she's amazing. I have some of your students that actually reached out personally. This is fat.
Wow.
And that goes to say a lot about what you're doing out there, how much lives you're touching. And I really, really love that. It's not that you're just teaching the soft life, there's actual result. Because a lot of times
Yes.
right now, people do things and there is no result. And so I'm like, you know what? It even makes me feel more happy to have you back here to, teach more people that needs to know more about this. So if you do not know about today's episode, we're still on Soft Life and it's Soft Life episode 2. And of course, no better person to teach us Soft Life than Ashley.
Hi. I'm so happy to hear that students have reached out to you and it sounds like they're sharing their journeys
Yes.
or feedback about the podcast, because the work that I do in the Soft Life Accelerator is transformational and it's work that you can implement in the moment, and we have real breakthroughs in real time. So if you're interested in regulating your nervous system, learning about epigenetics and how to better respond to the emotions that come up in your body when you're unsure of what to do, instead of being reactive, you want to become proactive, let me know. We are doing amazing work. It's just the most amazing, profound experience, even for me as a facilitator, to watch people go through their journeys and seeing them having those aha moments in real time. So I'm so happy that you got a little glimpse of that, because
I am honored that I was able to have you on my last episode and you shared
you.
that. That is beautiful. The fact that I'm getting feedback from people, from your students and people that are not even your students are reaching out. I think that's beautiful.
Wow.
I mean, we did have like some people that are, of course, not everybody agrees to stuff, which is fine, but people that sees the value in what you're doing, they are actually out there, and I needed you to know that. And
Thank you.
with that being said, this particular episode, I'm like, I know that Soft Life, we talked a little bit about luxury the last time, and I'm like, I know that having soft life, like we've discussed this off the camera, and I was thinking I probably would want you to talk about it on camera, because we have talked about how soft life is not just about luxury. It can be has to do with mental, or just as a human being. Like there are a lot of things that is involved when it comes to soft life. So I wanted you to come in today and expatiate and tell us more about that particular part of soft life that people do not get to talk about more. Because when you hear soft life, you think luxury, right? But I
Right.
know when we had the conversation, it's not just luxury. So that's, I would like you to tell my viewers more and, a little bit educate people, because people need to be educated, and education is power.
Education is absolutely power. And speaking of the soft life, to me, it's emotional intelligence. It's being able to have healthy, self soothing habits, regulating your internal body in a way that it becomes a asset, not a liability. And when I say asset, not a liability, is sometimes when life gets hard, we can become very reactive. And when you're too reactive, that can be volatile and uncontainable. It can be dysregulated. So to me, the soft life is a regulated way of responding to the world by becoming more aware of who you are at your core, and responding to the world in the way that you would see your role model, the higher version of yourself, the more evolved version of yourself.
So literally, you're telling us that soft life is all about awareness.
Awareness, absolutely.
Like awareness, like in terms of the not awareness, but awareness, right? You know the awareness and awareness.
Here we go again. I'm so sorry. Wait, spell it for me.
It's okay. Awareness, like that has to do with spa,
Wellness. I love
keep
your
saying,
accent.
listen,
It's
babe,
so
listen,
beautiful.
I am Nigerian. I have this accent that I'm trying to but you know what? It's part of those. I have that. I get that a lot, so it's fine.
I'm so sorry.
It's
But
okay.
yes, wellness, absolutely. And that is a part of the program. So within the Soft Life Accelerator and just the Soft Life in general, it's not only your mental, it's your emotional and spiritual well-being as well. Whether that be going to Pilates or yoga, going to the spa, having a massage. And it doesn't have to be the most fanciest massage. I know we talked about wellness, but releasing the tension in your body when you react to certain situations that are not the most ideal, our fight or flight syndrome kicks in. That's our sympathetic nervous system. And when that kicks in, it triggers again the fight or flight, so we become very tense. And a lot of times we think because we've moved on from a situation emotionally or mentally, we don't consider the physical well-being of our body. And we can work out all we want, but even working out, it makes you tense when you start gaining those muscles. But getting a massage and having someone work out those kinks, release those chemicals in your muscles so your body can actually digest it and be able to release it, is equally as important as going to a therapist or coming to a spiritual advisor or a wellness healer, holistic healer like myself. It's equally as important as eating the right kinds of foods that give your body energy and balance out your hormones. It's mind, body, spirit. It's an award-winning combination that no one should ignore. And I feel if more people incorporated more holistic and wellness into their lives, we would be a lot more balanced as a society.
You know, that brought me back to something you said the last time. If I'm not mistaken, you said soft life is anything that makes your life easy.
Yes.
And that, I cannot forget that quote. That is such a beautiful thing. And now, even though that probably might not be, it could be awareness from what I'm saying, from what you just said. It could be awareness, it could be anything. It could be just even relaxing, right? And not even
Absolutely.
worrying about stuff. And
Yes.
just making your life easy. And I think that's really beautiful. And going to that particular last episode, when I posted it, I had people commenting. I literally had somebody commented. The person said shallow because you talked about luxury. And no, I know that's what
That was expected, honestly. It was expected because sometimes people get so caught up on a word, they're not looking at the full picture. And we talked about this off camera.
That's the thing. People do not take their time to go actually watch the full podcast.
Yes.
You see the little clip and they just go off of that. But someone like that now, what would you tell someone like that? Because I feel like the person is looking at the stuff that is luxury that we talked about, not realizing that you are actually teaching something deeper than luxury.
Yes.
I mean, luxury is part of soft life. Who doesn't like luxury? I like luxury. You probably
Right.
don't like luxury.
And we all deserve luxury.
Yeah.
We all deserve
Yeah.
luxury. But someone like that, I mean, what can you tell them? Because are they even here still watching? I don't know. But if
No, they always watch. They always, and it's not just one person. I had a couple
They're
of people
always
that
watching.
did say that. They're someone said shallow. Someone said I can't remember the other word the person used, but I was just this, because I have talked to you, I've seen a little bit of your program, and I know it's not just luxury. I mean, luxury is involved, but it's not just luxury. It teaches you awareness. It teaches there's a lot of things you can benefit from that. So what do you tell someone like that?
I mean, here's the thing. People who are reactive in that way and they're quick to say it's shallow, those are the people who may not be ready for this kind of lifestyle or the program that I offer. So all I can say is I send you love. That's it. I send you love, and I hope that you come to a point where you understand what your worth is and your value. And if you decide the word luxury is something that doesn't resonate with you, I respect that. I honor it. And I wish you all the best in your journey.
I love that. I really, really love that. So Ashley, you know, I was telling you about today about networking events and stuff like that. I'm just like thinking, in this particular field of yours, this is a little bit out of context, but I'm just, you know, you never know. It's good to talk about almost everything, right?
Of course. Come on. No filter with Queen Mary.
No. There's no filter when you're here. So in this particular field of yours, because you had mentioned something that got my attention. You're like, oh, you forgot your business card, right?
Oh,
so
yes,
when
on
you
the way
go,
here.
Yes, on the way here.
Yes.
When you go to this networking event, of course, you know, I know you teach this soft life class. Is it when you go that you get clients from things like that? You give your cards out. I'm asking because I know as an entrepreneur, there's a lot of entrepreneurs probably watching this that they do not take that steps and even remember their business cards. Because when you said that, my mind, it just came to me. I'm like, oh, it gave me something in my mind. I'm like, she's good.
Thank you.
No, she's good. It takes a lot, you know, and lately people do not do that.
Yes. Okay. So I'm trying to pull something up so I can show Mary.
Yeah, sure. So we want to see.
The service in here isn't the greatest. Okay. Well, I'll just say it because I wanted to show you so we can get your live reaction, but it's not loading. So the power of networking is beyond anything that you can imagine. So for example, like I like to carry my business cards. If I have them printed, I'd rather have a physical product because when you give somebody something physical touch is the number one. It's a healing aspect, and if somebody has something they can hold of you, they'll remember you even more. So when it comes to physical business cards, like a lot of people, especially in Miami and other tech forward cities, they like to do digital business cards, and I do that because it's convenient. But again, I like to have physical. So I was in a club in Arizona. This was maybe 3 years ago. And was it 3 years? Maybe about 3 years ago. And Cardi B was there.
Oh,
and
okay.
I was in the section right in front of her, and I gave her my business card. And Cardi B gave me a shout out on Instagram and Twitter. And that brought a lot of interest toward my business, a lot of business.
And that's just from going out with your business card.
Just giving my business card in the club, random.
Wow.
I want to show you so bad. I'll send it to you after this.
Okay.
But you just never know who you're going to meet, when you're going to meet them. And I wouldn't have been able to predict that later on that night she was going to pull it out while she was on Instagram Live and say, hey, this is what's going on. And the way that I found out about it is I tweeted like, oh my gosh, Cardi B just took my business card, and other people were on social media. They seen her on live and they told me, Cardi B just gave you a shout out on Instagram. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then she was so gracious to come around, and she wrote me on Twitter, and she just, she gave me my props for being a woman who was on her game and networking, because you just never know who you're going to meet.
That is beautiful.
So there's a saying, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I don't care how digital the world gets. If you are an entrepreneur, please get business card and get physical collateral, physical marketing materials that you can give out to people, because when they take you home, you never know. A lot of times with networking and business in general, it doesn't matter if you're networking or you're just posting online. A lot of people, I think they say they need 6 points of contact before they'll actually purchase from your business or they'll book a service with you. So if you meet someone in person and you're able to give them something physical that they can take home, that's your 2 points of contact, because they talk to you and now they have something physical. And every time they look at whatever you gave them, that's another point of contact. Wow. So it's a benefit to have physical materials. It's a benefit to have business cards. It separates you. Again, there's a lot of people who do digital these days, but it separates you from other people because, again, they have something of yours they can take home. I have business cards in my wallet now. Every time I look at the people's business cards, I'm like, oh, I need to support their business. And I meet all kinds of people, and I already have booked services with these different people, but that's the importance of it. So please do.
Actually, you never told me this story before. This is so inspiring. I'm so glad that we talked about this. This is really, really inspiring. See, that's the thing. There is a power in being like staying ready, because you never know. Look at that. In a club, who would have thought? That's what shows a bad bitch. Like going to a club with your business class cards.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Because like most times people want to go to the club, they only just think about drinking, right? Nobody's thinking about networking in the club.
As an entrepreneur, we work 24/7, and you have to always think about your business and how you carry yourself, because you are a representation of your business. As much as you try to separate it, you're a representation of your business. So I'm always looking for opportunities. And the biggest thing is you can't be shy. As an entrepreneur, there are people who start their businesses and they get scared. Like, I have a lot of clients who are entrepreneurs, and they'll call me when they're in the club or when they're out, and they're like, hey, I see this celebrity. I'm like, go talk to them.
Yeah.
Celebrities are people.
Yes.
And of course you want to be respectful of people's personal space. And I understand that. But you never know what's going to come from an opportunity of you just saying, hey, here's my business card. Hey, my name is so-and-so, and I do X, Y, and Z. Put yourself out there. As an entrepreneur, you have to be a shark. You never know when your next form of income is coming from, so you have to find them. You have to create your own lane, and that's what you did if you decided to be an entrepreneur. The definition of entrepreneurship is taking a risk. Every day you have to take a risk to be an entrepreneur. So walk in your power, walk in your light. Have no fear about what it is that you're doing, because if you're an entrepreneur, you answered a calling that came from God, came from Spirit, came from the universe. Own it. Own it.
Amen.
Who's telling you to stop?
Amen to that. Own it. You know, this stuff you just talked about right now took me to Paris, because like this my trip in Paris.
Yes.
I had this experience where there was a lot of high profile celebrities. They were around, and we had a photographer.
Including you.
We had I mean, I don't know, but we had a photographer. We had a photographer in our midst, and it was so funny that he's such an amazing photographer. I saw his work. I was like, wow. But he did not have the nerve. Like, he didn't have the courage.
The audacity.
To talk to these celebrities. And we were over there. We were like, why? You're here. They are here. We are almost like we're in the same place. Why don't you just take that step? Like, we talked to, as a matter of fact, my friend, bless her heart, she just went straight in and just did the introduction for her, for the guy. And it was such a beautiful thing to watch.
Aww.
But the thing is, he almost lost the opportunity.
Wow.
Just because he was so afraid of if they're going to say, who cares if they say no? It's okay. You shoot your shot, you tried. It didn't work, right? Yeah. But at least try. So I love that you said that celebrities are human beings like us.
Yes.
Like, you have to be able to take that chance. If you're an entrepreneur, you see someone you really look up to, and if you really look up to some celebrity, that doesn't make you a stalker.
It doesn't. I mean, of course, have situational awareness in everything that you do, but especially as an entrepreneur, a creative, anything that depends on your own effort, take that chance. Because what do they say? The only shot you miss is the ones you don't take.
That's true.
And what's the worst that can happen? If they say no, you're in the same position that you started in, so it's not a loss. But if you put yourself out there, again, I didn't expect her to go on live, and she put my business card on camera.
I'm not a big
She gave
rap.
me my props. It was amazing.
I'm not a big rap person. I don't even think if I know any rap songs. Seriously.
Oh, I love Cardi B. Hey, Cardi.
I'm not a big rap
Hi,
person.
Cardi. I love you forever.
I'm not a big rap person, but for some reason, I've never met Cardi B, but for some reason,
Oh, she's amazing.
I've always,
She's so sweet.
when I see her on the internet, I'm always like, there's something about her that I've always liked. I'm serious.
She's relatable. She's personable.
I see, like, there's something about her that I've always admired and liked. So it's really, I guess that makes me, what you just said is bringing me to the conclusion of maybe that's probably why I like her. I don't know, because I've never seen her before. But the fact that she even did that, that's powerful. That's woman empowerment.
Yes.
That's empowering. You didn't pay her for that. She
No.
just saw you, and she's just encouraging the fact that you had that audacity to just give her the card in a club. And she
Yes.
acknowledged a hustler.
Exactly, and that's exactly
That's
what she
beautiful.
said. She said she loves when women hustle. Those were her exact words. She loves when women hustle. And given the current state of the economy in the US, it's so unpredictable, it's so volatile, it's up and then it's all over the place. She recognized the fact that I was willing to put myself out there. And again, I didn't know what was going to happen. There's no way I could have predicted for that to happen for me. And I'm so grateful and I'm so appreciative. So Cardi, if you're watching this, thank you again, girl. But she's also done that for other people as well. I've seen it for men and women. She's constantly giving people props for putting themselves out there.
That is
So
amazing. I mean,
she's
it
amazing.
doesn't even, it shows how good of a person she is, because it doesn't
Yes.
really cost you anything.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
And she's a platform, multi-million followers
Wow.
and businesses and all the connections
Wow.
that she has. She said, hey, I'm going to put this girl on. She showed my business card. I'm going to show y'all.
Oh, shout out to Cardi! Shout out to Cardi! That is beautiful.
Look. I got my business cards on.
Okay, look at that. Can I have one, please?
Of
I need
course.
one. Give me
Of
one.
course. These are the evolved
at
version.
that.
These are thick, honey.
It's
Thick.
really beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
Ah.
This is what Cardi, she got.
Oh my God, I am so proud of you
Thank
and
you.
the work you're doing and
Thank
the lives you're touching. And this is so empowering and so encouraging. And I hope that any young lady out there that is lost somehow, you're watching this is your chance to take that chance. So you guys hear what I always talk about, being ready. How would you have imagined that you would see Cardi B in a place like club? Isn't that the craziest? I mean, of course, you know you're going to see Cardi B in a club because if you watch, you know. But at the same time, you would not imagine that you would have your cards with you at this particular club.
So that's the part that's crazy about it, that makes it more crazy, because at the time she was with her ex. We don't need to say any names out of respect to her, but she was with her ex and it was her ex's hosting. She wasn't actually supposed to be there. It was just
Wow.
his hosting. And my friends and I, we ended up at that club as it was a spontaneous thing. We were in the area, we were looking at different clubs. We happened to run into one of the promoters who said, hey, you guys should come sit at my section. It was all serendipitous. It was about being at the right place at the right time. And I always carry my business cards. Again, as long as I have them printed, they're in my purse, they're in my wallet, they're in my pocket, they're somewhere. I always have my business cards. So there's no way for me to have predicted that night. I had no idea we were going to be at that location. I had no idea she was going to be there because, again, it wasn't her event. She actually had another event maybe 20, 30 minutes away, and she ended up coming there. So it was totally unexpected for myself and everyone else there. So it's like what we were saying earlier, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. You never know who you're going to meet. Actually, my mom taught me a very valuable lesson when I was young. And she said, every time you walk out of the house, it's lights, camera, action. Treat every time you leave the house as if you're going on the runway and make that fit, because I know there's some fellas watching. So every time you go out of the house, just think the best opportunity is going to come to you that day. And the power of manifestation, you bring those opportunities in, but also you want to be able to be presentable. Think of it as if you're going on a job interview. I'm not saying wear a suit every time you leave the house, but be presentable and be ready, because you never know who you're going to meet and you never know what God has in store for you. So you might as well look your best. best and present your best. Be ready.
It's so refreshing hearing you say that, because I have had moments, as being a model, I've had moments that I found myself, and I'm always like, is it too much? But I realized that was before, and I realized that there's never such a thing as too much. When it comes to like how you want to look, representation is everything. The way you look, the way you present yourself, the way you carry yourself is everything. You always have to be able to find yourself in a state that you're always ready, because how you look, some people do not realize that, really determines how some people treat you.
It is.
You don't need to
true.
necessarily you don't need to have the most expensive stuff. It's not about how expensive it is. It's all about how you wear it and how you carry yourself.
Yes.
And a lot of people do not realize that, and they miss that. They always think, oh my God, they have to do this, or they're like, well, I'm going to the airport. When I go to the airport, you need to see me going to the airport, I'm dressed.
Yes, I wear my blazers to
I'm
the airport. You never know.
Girl, you never know. Because even the times I'm not dressed to the airport, I might wear foot fluff or whatever, or just wear hoodies. When I wear hoodie, it's not like the other people wearing hoodies. I wear it in such a way I'm wearing it. I don't let it wear me. So even when I'm wearing the hoodie in the airport, you see me, you're like, why she dressed?
Yeah.
Girl, I've had that experience. I had an experience I'm wearing hoodies and just very simple, but I had little boots. It just added something. And a friend of mine was like, I didn't know you're gonna dress up. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, well, I wear what I want to wear to the airport. You wear what you want to wear to the airport. I'm always ready, and it's very, very important being ready, because you never know. Even being ready can be you with your cards in a club. Girl, I'll give you a big clap for that, because with a business card in the club, I love that. That's
Thank
refreshing. Because I probably, if I'm being honest, I probably would not think about that.
Yeah.
I'm learning, even having this conversation with you right now, I am learning. A life is a learning process.
It is.
I am always ready, but I don't think I've ever been ready going to the club with a business class. Because first off, I might not show up in a club. And if I show up in a club, the only thing I'm thinking of is club. Who is serious here? But apparently,
Cardi B, honey.
And I love her for that.
I love her for it too.
She's an amazing person. I've never seen Cardi B, but hearing you say this, you didn't pay her just because she saw you and saw that you are an entrepreneur. You are a girl that is fighting, and you're standing your ground, and you came to club with a card.
Yes.
And she recognized that. That is beautiful.
Yes.
That's amazing.
It was, and it was a true testament to me and my journey as an entrepreneur, and it gave me such a boost to continue going, because she recognized me. A lot of people around you as an entrepreneur, they may not champion you because they're used to it, or they're jaded, or whatever it is. But for Cardi B, a Grammy Award winner, to recognize this girl from San Francisco, and this was in Arizona at the time, and
wow,
be willing to champion another woman.
Wow.
Because you said this in the last episode, real recognize real.
No, real recognize real, for real.
Yes.
For real. It's a huge thing. It's about, I think it's about energy.
Yes.
You can feel it, you can see it.
That is one thing that I will say about that night, is there was an energy in the air, absolutely. And it was February 11th, 2/11. And if you're
Wow.
into numerology, repeating numbers, the number 11 is a master number. And to have 2, that means duality. And then 11, I know it's new beginnings, but 11 breaks down to a 2. So it's balance. Again, serendipity, being at the right place at the right time.
And you
Yes.
never know. So listen,
Yes, the stars
stay
align
ready.
for me.
Stay ready. Be
Stay
ready.
ready.
You never know. Have your
You never
business
know.
card with you, because
Yes.
you never know. And
Yes.
it's so empowering that happened, and what she did after that happened.
Yes.
It's such an amazing. I don't think I can get over this because I think I'm probably going to talk about this in my next few podcasts because it's so beautiful. It's like an unexpected.
It was so unexpected.
You're in a club, for God's sake. People, you know what tell people? I tell people that club is where you take people you don't want to talk to.
No,
But it's true.
if it's like, I've been in so many different clubs, and I'm very lucky and fortunate that I interact with celebrities a lot. But it's when you have your own business, you have to, again, take those shots, because if you don't take the shot, you'll always miss, you know? So you have to be ready, you have to be confident, believe in what it is that you offer. It's a purpose that you answer to go into entrepreneurship. I don't care what it is. And if you don't have a physical business card, what I've done to accommodate the digital market is with the iPhone, you can change your contacts profile and put your website, and in the notes section, I put exactly what I do in the notes. So if anyone were to look, I have my professional photo as my poster and my icon, and then I put in my notes a summary of what it is that I do and my services. So people look there and they see my website, it's all there. And that's another thing that I'm ready to send to people, like airdrop it to them or send it to their contacts. So when they open it, they see all my information right away. A lot of people like convenience. So a business card is convenient because you take it, you look at it, okay, this is the business, this is how I contact them, this is the website. It's all in one place. Same thing with your digital content or your contact card. Put all your information there as well. I don't care if you're aspiring.
We're going to remove that word from your vocabulary. If you meet someone and you're aspiring to be an artist, aspiring to be an architect, aspiring to be a CEO, entrepreneur, remove aspiring. I am an artist. I am a model. I am an actress. I am a content creator. The power of I am is so important because now you trick your mind into embodying that frequency. And when you embody a frequency of what it is you want to be, the universe responds. And we talked about this a little bit.
I know we did.
Our last
I was just
episode.
looking at it, I'm loving like the universe always responds.
Yes.
In one way or the other. I mean, I think in so many ways, but the universe always responds.
Yes.
You know, talking about soft life, I know I kind of like jumped when I started asking you that question.
The sirens, that's a first responder. And we're talking about the universe always responds.
Yeah, oh my God, that's true. You get a good ear though.
You gotta pay attention, honey. See? So some of you guys watching, your blessing is on its way.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen to that. Amen to that. I'm a big believer. But you know, talking about soft life, what are the habits you would tell somebody, the habits that you would tell somebody to live, like habits they have to have to keep maintaining soft life?
Absolutely. So the number one thing is a morning routine. When you wake up in the morning, the earlier the better, honestly. There's something about 3 a.m. and being creative at 3 a.m., but I don't wake up that early all the time. So I would say the earlier you wake up, the more you can maximize your day. It's like before 10 a.m., most of the world is still sleeping or they're not as active. And for some reason, during those times, it's more peaceful. I would say wake up early, start your day with some kind of meditation, whether it's pouring yourself a cup of coffee, tea, spending a little bit more time in the shower, doing an actual meditation, whatever it is. Set your first portion of your day to yourself. Then I want you to hydrate. Actually, let's go back a little bit. When you wake up, there should be a cup of water by your bed. Drink some water and then go into a meditation. This could even be journaling, shower, XYZ. Then after that, make sure you nourish yourselves with healthy food. Start with something organic if you can, or something leafy, something that's going to nourish your body, and then start your day. If you can start your days with a block of time that's dedicated to yourself, that's the best way to do it, because a lot of times we're overworked, we're stressed, and when we become reactive or tense, it's because it's a signal that we're not giving ourselves enough love, enough time. So when you're able to bring it back to yourself, have that Zen moment with yourself, amazing. And starting your day like that is going to set the tone for the rest of your day. And then throughout your day, it's okay. I would say maybe work out at some point, but the other thing that's as equally important as your morning routine is your evening routine. Remove the phone from your bedroom. Recently, I went and got an epigenetics test to see how my genes are expressing themselves, and it breaks down the stress levels in your body. They took some hair samples.
Wow.
It breaks down the stress levels in your body. It breaks down how your genes are expressing. So what minerals do you need in your body? And it also picked up radiation in mine. The radiation was low.
No way.
But the epigenetics tester, she let me know that your phones can contribute to radiation in your body, which we're told that our phones, it's okay, right? But ever since they put up those 5G towers, I don't know if you guys remember, but there were a lot of people.
I do remember.
There were a lot of people protesting the 5G towers.
I remember that.
And now, see, I'm glad because a lot of people were not aware of that, and a lot of people were saying, "Hey, this isn't good for us." We have our cell phones, we have our internet modems, we have the microwave, and whatever else you have that connects to a Bluetooth, our speakers in the phone, in the home. We don't think about how that all weighs on our bodies. And I love to travel. I travel a lot. And those machines in the airports give you radiation. And that's what the lady, she actually asked me, "Hey, when's the last time you traveled?" And I told her I traveled recently. And she said, those body scanners in the airport, it actually stays in your system for about 6 months. And I was so perplexed. Well, I was so surprised by that. Now I just get pat downs. I opt out in the airport and I have them pat me down instead of going through the machines. So remove your phone from the bedroom and give yourself, they say about 30 minutes to an hour.
I need to start practicing that because I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'll probably try.
I've actually noticed a difference now that I don't sleep with my phone in the room.
Imagine
because think about it.
With my phone right next to my bed.
Think about it. Your phone is an active receiver for any messages that are coming through. So those radiation waves, what is it called? Ooh, I can't remember. But the waves are constantly going and while you're sleeping, and you're sleeping with that most likely next to your head, whether it's in your bed or
mine
on
is always right next to my
the
bedside,
nightstand. It's right near your head, and we're wondering how a lot of new diseases are forming in our bodies. And look at all the technology that we have. It's great, but we also want to limit how much exposure is coming to our body.
You know, this is eye-opening that you said that.
Yeah.
And now I'm like sitting over here, I'm thinking, oh my God, how am I going to keep my phone in the living room? Because, you know,
you don't need it, you're sleeping.
Before the phones came out, you don't think you need it. It's so crazy that they want to handicap you right now. I didn't think I need the phones, right? When it first came out, right? Mm-hmm. Because nobody thought I didn't even know I was going to have a phone. But now that you get so used to it and you feel like, wow, can you really do without this? And that's crazy. I mean, I have times I don't have my phone all the time. But the truth is that, really? In the other room? I don't know. I am going to work on that because I do believe the radiation. I do believe that. I do believe the 5G stuff. So I am going to work on that.
It showed up in my hair follicles.
You know what's even scary? Have you ever talked about something? You just talked about something with your friend and you open your Instagram or your phone and that's the first thing that pops up.
I have a story for you. Are you ready for this?
How?
So I was getting ready for church one day and I had my Bible on my bed. I have a pink leather Bible, okay? And my Bible was on my bed.
You have a pink
I
Bible?
picked up my phone. Yes, a pink Bible. Yes. It's pink leather Bible. The inside is the regular Bible. It's just the outside. But I picked up my phone and I turned over. It wasn't open. I just picked up my phone to pick it up and I was walking into my living room. I opened my phone. There was an ad for the exact Bible on Instagram. How common is a pink Bible? It was the exact same one.
I haven't seen one before.
I was freaked out. And that means this camera is always rolling because my phone was locked. My phone was locked.
It is.
And as soon as I opened it, it was right there. I was like,
It is. That is so scary. I literally just watched something that has to do. I mean, this is hilarious. I think I have to talk about this in my next episode because it's a whole thing.
Yes.
And I was showing my brother. I'm like, how is this even possible with the whole AI, the phone? There is a lot of stuff going out there right now. But you
Yes.
know. I think that has to be a different episode, a different podcast for that.
Yes.
But with that being said, I'm very curious. How would you encourage somebody to protect their peace or have boundaries when trying to live soft life?
Emotional intelligence is really important when enforcing boundaries. If your body says you're not ready for something or you can't handle a conversation, speak up. And the way that you would do that is if someone comes into your space and they want to have a conversation, again, that you're not ready for, tell them, hey, I don't think I'm in the position to be able to have this conversation right now. Can we talk about it later? Because when you defy your body's natural response system, now you become receptive to something that we say is an energy vampire or an energy leak because you knew you weren't ready for it, and then you allow it to happen anyway, and this person can dump all of their trauma, their stress, their dissatisfaction onto you, and you walk away from that conversation feeling everything that person said, and this person's happy now because they got to offload onto you. And now you don't know what to do with this energy, and then that becomes a cycle because you can get upset with yourself by not saying no when you know your intuition said, hey, your body tensed up, that fight or flight came in, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready. Speak up. Say what you need to say and trust yourself.
So, you know, that is beautifully said because I used to have this friend, I loved her to death. But every time we talked on the phone, when I get off, this can come in all forms and shape. It can be some people, it can be maybe something you're doing that is not working, that you just feel the energy afterwards. Every time we talk on the phone, and I get off from the phone, I might be energetic, very high energy. Whenever I get off from the phone with her, I'm like this. Because there is always something. There is always a complaint. There is never something. It's never enough. It's always like she's complaining. And I realized, it took me a long time to realize that. And when I realized it, I'm like, damn, this is not just happening to me because then I had to take my time to trace the root. Then I realized that it was every time we get off the phone. So I can relate to that a little bit where it's like, you know, when you see something that really do not work and it's like the energy drains you, just take yourself out. It's not worth it.
It's not
really
worth it. Because I guarantee you those kind of people, they're used to people saying no to them. They're going to find someone to listen. So it's not a loss to you at all. And also with those situations, it's okay to, if you still want to be there for that person, for example, it's okay to say, hey, can we talk about this at another time? Or if someone starts to project something onto you, repeat back what they said to you and ask them, hey, did you mean to offend me by what you just said? Because it allows them to self-reflect. And a lot of times people will self-correct when you hold up a mirror to them.
Holding up a mirror. A lot of people do not really see their self. I feel like everybody always have to have a mirror right next to them to like really. No, it's like a self-reflection.
Really see themselves.
Like every time I talk to people and I feel like I have an argument and maybe a conversation with my friend and it doesn't go well, I always replay it as a memory or as like, you know, let me assume I'm this person. How would I feel? And most times when I have that feel, I'm like, oh no, I probably would not like that. Then I call the person, I'm like, I'm sorry, right? But in most situations, I'm like, oh yeah, I wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't feel bad because I was right.
Yes.
And in most times, I get my friends, they call me back, they're like, oh, I'm sorry, Mary, I messed up, right? But it's always good to self-reflect. And it's like, it helps with self-awareness and all that. So I really, I really agree with that particular one. And also like, again, talking about agreeance, how do you unleash something you've always believed, like something you've always believed in, and you just realize that, okay, it's not working. You have to unleash that to know that, to live softly.
You know, it takes time. It's not something that I've ever rushed, and there could have been things where in my past, if I wasn't ready to receive information, I just wasn't ready. I'm going to be honest, I was hard-headed, and that was a part of my journey, and I think we all have to learn through self-experience and trusting the flow. So nowadays, if someone were to tell me a bit of feedback that I didn't necessarily agree with, like you, I put myself into their shoes, because all we know is what happens right here. Our perception, what we see. A lot of how we live is through our eyes and what we think, but that's not always how other people receive it. So I stay open to what other people have to say. I don't always agree with it, but certain things, if I see something that does resonate, I take it to my therapist. I say, you know what, there's a point there. I can see how you feel that way. I go to my therapist for reflection, or I'll journal. And if I journal, I'll read it myself, but I'll go to my therapist and say, hey, this came up. I want to know how this came up, why somebody would feel that, and I want to work on it. I'm very, very receptive.
I like that because a lot of people aren't. And talking about therapies, do you think that everybody do need therapy?
Yes,
At
everyone
some
needs
point.
therapy. It doesn't matter how perfect you think your life is. It's always good to have a sounding board, a professional who studied the human brain, studies human relations, to be able to give you feedback on how to improve, because no one is perfect. No one's perfect on this world. We always have something to improve, whether it's a deeper understanding of yourself or a deeper understanding of how the world operates around you. I think it's a benefit both in personal and professional relationships.
I do agree with you on that, but I want you to a little bit explain further. The reason I said that is because what would you tell someone like me that is an immigrant from Nigeria, that have lived the life and never had a therapy, right? I've never been in a therapy class. And I'm not saying that everything I do is perfect, because I feel like most times I'm like a I feel like most times maybe I do need one. I don't know. But I've gone this far without ever having a therapy. What would you tell someone like me that is watching this, that is like, she doesn't know what she's saying, you don't need a therapy, stuff like that? And do someone really need to get a therapy that is certified, that is a therapist? Or do you, because I feel like as though growing up and the way I grew up, getting to this point in my life, I feel like the people I have in my life as the elders, that I listen to them, right? They teach me the things I need to know. And I always listen to the advice, because all my friends are a little bit like, most of my friends are older than me. So I pick up from their life experiences and I talk to them. For me, they're therapy to me. They're therapists to me, right? So do you think that someone needs to get a professional therapist, or it's someone like me that have gone through this route, and I feel though it probably had worked. I don't know, maybe it did work, maybe it didn't work, but I feel like it had worked. What would you say to someone like that?
I would say therapy is an individual journey for everyone, and it's something that can expose you to things that maybe you haven't thought of. And through epigenetics, this is the study of traumas that are passed down, and sometimes people are unaware of the trauma that they have, because 90% of how we operate is through the subconscious. And with the therapist, they help you explore your subconscious, because sometimes we think everything is okay and we're carrying a bunch of tension, and then it comes out when we explode or if we overreact. And every overreact or explosion, or when we get upset and really emotionally triggered by certain things, there's a root cause to that. And sometimes our elders can't tell us what that root cause is, but a therapist will help you be able to understand exactly what it is. There are things that happened to me when I was young, a kid, that in everyday life I don't think about, but sometimes I might have a reaction that is back to that situation that happened in my childhood. So through therapy, I was able to identify what my blockages were and how to more efficiently operate as a woman. And for women of color, we have more prejudices, more obstacles than the normal person would in this world. It's universal. So to have that additional support system, someone who knows nothing about you, it really helps. And I notice a lot of times just in feminine lineages, because you have to think in the 50s, women didn't have a lot of rights. So a lot of times women would suppress their emotions. They would suppress being lied to, cheated on, mistreated. We didn't even have rights to vote for a long time in America, let alone the rest of the world. We didn't have a voice. But the fact that slowly but surely the world is becoming more progressive, we deserve to have that additional support to be able to work through things that historically we didn't have any tools to be able to support us in those moments. So I think everyone should give therapy a chance. And something to know about therapy is for me, my own journey, it took me maybe 6 years before I gained the confidence and courage to be able to say, maybe a therapist isn't working with me. And I kept trying until I found a therapist that resonated with me. And it's been the most amazing thing since I found the right one. So if you've been in therapy and it didn't work out, keep trying until you find someone who resonates with you, who can speak to your heart and your soul and make you feel seen, because it is really important. And it's a sounding board that has nothing to do with the people around you and how they were shaped in their environments to be able to give you that feedback to help you evolve as a person. Because Mary, I know you want to improve. You want to have that feedback, and you're a self-aware person. And sometimes your friends, either they don't know what to tell you or they may not know the right things to tell you. But a therapist will, a good therapist will. And again, it's been the most amazing thing that I've incorporated into my life, having a therapist, and I will forever be an advocate for it as long as I can breathe.
You know, that's a different way to look at it, and I really appreciate you saying that. I guess I have to maybe start thinking about therapies. I don't know, because I have never considered myself that I do the therapies. I feel
I was
like
the same
I've
way for
always,
a long time.
Listen, I've always been like I grew up with my grandmother, so I've always been like the old wisdom, right? That doesn't mean that it's necessarily right in every modern, in everything I do. But I've always believed that, and a lot of therapists I know, like personally, their life is a mess, and I'm like,
we're all people. We're all just people, We're all learning.
Don't get me wrong. I ain't judging. I'm just like, they need therapy too.
No, I get it, and it's true. Every healer, this is a saying.
And I end up being the therapist most times because I'm like, okay. If someone that is close to me knows this, I'm that friend you always call when you have a problem, and I will listen. I mean, if you're close to me, I'm that friend you would call, and I would never lie. I would tell you the truth. So most times, even the therapy come to me. So I'm always like, do I really need those people? Because I think they don't even get what they're doing, but don't listen to me. Please get a therapy if you're watching it.
Yes, and like what Mary just shared, I was the same way for a very long time. I would go to therapists and they would say, oh, there's nothing wrong because you can articulate yourself so well. And in my defense, I would respond and say, well, I'm not coming to you for no reason. I need help to work through these things. And that's why I say it's so important to if you don't like your therapist, find another therapist until you have someone who can take you outside of yourself, outside of that driver mode, and say, hey, let's look at it this way. Because my therapist has introduced me to tools, meditation techniques, lifestyle changes that really spoke to my nervous system, and it's helped me so much, and I'm so grateful for her.
It's beautiful. As long as you feel amazing, you feel good after, your sections is the best feeling, because at the end of the day, there's always room for growth. It's always important when there's always good for growth, and it's always important to actually grow.
Yes.
So if you have that opportunity and you know that your life is not how you want it to be, or something, there's a block, you're having a block, I think maybe you do need a therapy. I don't know.
And therapy comes in all different types. I like talking therapy, but dance is a form of therapy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Drawing is a color therapy. Yes,
I do know that.
They have
Actually,
art therapy.
cooking is therapy.
Cooking is therapy, and they have
I
therapists.
love, whenever I cook,
Yeah.
there's a beauty to that. I would cook in my kitchen. I'm like dancing.
You gotta make me that goat curry. I think you said you gotta cook for me. I have not forgot.
I will.
It's almost December, and I know Dirty December. No, Dirty December in Nigeria is a big thing. So when we get to those, even though it's never winter in Miami, you gotta cook for me, girl.
No, I will.
I heard Mary gets down in the kitchen.
I promise.
You make me goat curry, and I'll make you gumbo.
Oh, okay. I like gumbo. It sounds good.
Oh, you had gumbo before?
I do. Okay,
But I was saying, there's different forms of therapy, and there are therapists that will, like a cooking therapy. I'm sure there's a therapist that does cooking therapy, and while you're cooking, they'll ask you questions and stimulate your mind. Same with art therapy. So find what works for you. But there's so many different branches of it, so don't sleep on therapy, you guys.
I think I probably would do cooking therapy because naturally I really enjoy cooking. When I'm cooking, I'm literally in that zone.
It's meditative.
Anytime it's like there's something about it.
Yes.
But with that being said,
Yes.
what's the balance between ambition and soft life? I'm just like, because it's very like, I feel like it's a thin line.
Yes.
Because you know what I mean?
I absolutely understand, and that is an
Yeah.
amazing question for you to ask. It really depends on the person, but if I'm going to sleep and I'm still thinking about work, that's not a good sign, and that means I'm super anxious and I need to ground myself, because anything to me that takes you away from yourself and your own thoughts and you're putting that before yourself is becoming a distraction from your own human experience. So I have different practices that I do. One of the big game changers was removing my phone from the bedroom before I go to sleep.
I need to try that.
Yes.
I need to try that.
Taking a long shower and meditating in the shower. That's sometimes I will bring my phone into the shower, play a meditation on YouTube, and just silence my mind. And as an entrepreneur, we're always looking for the next best thing. How can I get better? How can I improve my numbers, the money that's coming in? Do I have enough clientele? Am I getting enough views on social media? That's not what life is all about. That's just a little point of life. And I started prioritizing my health, because your health, stress is a silent killer. And if you don't prioritize your health and how you feel, when I get too wired, I know, I got to take a step back. I go to the beach, take a bath. I'll sit on my balcony and suntan, just talk to the sun. I talk to the moon. And I know this sounds a little bit woo, and it's a way to get you focused. When I used to do ballet, I was young and I had a scholarship to San Francisco Ballet. They would tell us when we would do our spins to focus on one point, one spot in the room, and focus on that point so you wouldn't get dizzy when you're doing your spins. And I like to use that now. When I get too spun out on life, focus on one point, calm myself down, and then I can think so much more clearer. So I think that's really the balance, the fine line between having wellness in the soft life and being an entrepreneur, is identifying what your limit is and knowing how to take a step back and say, hey, I need to take a pause, because your business is only as good as you are as an entrepreneur. And if you're overworked, you will suffer inconsistency. And a lot of people, your client audience, the people who are going to buy your products or buy your services, they rely on consistency.
So that's the ambition with the
soft life, yeah.
That's very refreshing for you to say, because when you were talking about the point when you were doing ballet,
Yes.
I was looking at you like I was looking at you like this, because when I walk on the runway, there is always a point.
And she
It's
is
like there is
beautiful
there
on the
is
runway.
always a point. So you see, you're just walking, that you have to find that stick, you just have to go. And I can really see what that is, like silencing the things above. So everybody, there is the camera people, the audience, you don't see them. You just to that target. And I can say that. And
Mary, oh my gosh, on the runway, majestic.
please.
Mary is in her zone. She doesn't see what everyone else around her sees, but when she goes in that zone, it's magic. And just imagine, when you get into your zone and you focus on your point and you tune everything out, you create magic.
Yeah, but sometimes in real life though, there is a lot of distraction. It's so hard for a lot of people to silence that noise. And I get it because sometimes I wake up with 10 ideas. I want to do this, I want to do that. I'm always moving, I'm always walking. There's always something happening in my life.
Yes.
It's either it's the swim brand, it's the podcast, it's either it's the modeling. There's always something. I'm waking up with teaching classes, right?
Yes.
And I'm thinking, at one point you have to really narrow down. I was talking to somebody yesterday, I'm like, you have to do everything and anything, truly. She's like, no, you really do not have to. Then I told her, what happens to the point that which you are doing and you have poured in so many into, and it's still not giving you or yielding that which you want or need? What do you do at that point? And she went quiet a little bit. I'm like, listen, that's when I say you have to do anything and everything. And it can be distracting. It can be. But it's that's when you really need to be so strong to find your ground.
Yes.
To be able to focus.
Yes.
Because I feel like I've been in that particular spot so many times. I've done hair. I used to have a hair salon. I've done a lot of stuff.
I didn't know
I've done a lot of
this.
businesses. I've done dating apps. I had a dating app
I remember this.
that I created.
But a hair salon,
Girl,
you
I
learn
still
something
do
new
wigs.
every day.
I used to sew my own sewing on my hair.
You're so creative.
But that's the thing. A lot of times people get so impatient, and it's like the waiting time. You get so much like, okay, this is not working. You want to do something else. That's something that you have to do. Something that you do like. And I think that the thing has to be something that you love. Because when you do something that you really love, even though it's not like what you want it to be at that point, you see yourself, you keep going. You know what I mean?
There's gratification that comes with it. And when you do something that you love, it doesn't feel like work. So to Mary's point, especially as entrepreneurs, we do have to diversify our income. We have to diversify the way we entertain. Because today, if you're an entrepreneur and you're on social media, you have to be entertaining. People have to buy into your personality. Yep. It's just a fact. And you have to find what works for you. But the more that you put energy into what flows for you and you get good feedback, continue that. But when it feels like you're forcing, that's a sign to pull that energy back into yourselves and continue to explore with other things. But don't give up. That's the biggest point of it all. Do not give up.
Yeah, do not give up. And also sometimes hobbies are amazing, but we need to be realistic, because at the end of the day, someone got to pay the bills. If there's one thing to have a hobby, and there's one thing to really like pay the bills.
Yes.
And
monetize your hobby.
That, you got to pay the bills. So I mean, people always like, entrepreneurs, they're not working, they don't have a job. I mean, it's good, but it's difficult.
We're working 24/7. We work.
I know that, but
just for the people watching, we work 24/7. We're never.
I know that. Working. I know that. But there are people sitting at home that wants to quit their jobs to venture into no, seriously.
No,
to
this
venture
is
into
true.
something, because this is a real life, situation. They want to quit their job and like, I get it. It's amazing.
It is.
I had that conversation with a friend 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, you know, a lot of people don't get it. Like, you in that particular situation at that point, you're like, oh my God, you just want to quit your job and do just this. It's good, but you have to be smart enough to know that can you pay your bills for the meantime? Because it can be a hobby, but when you're not making money,
when it's not
and you need to pay your bills,
mm-hmm.
Now that's a different thing.
It is. And you want to make sure whatever you're monetizing as an entrepreneur, it is sustainable. For me, and even Mary has multiple forms of income. She's a model. She has a swim brand. You have your dating app.
Well,
there's a lot of different things.
App. I had it before. It's in the past, but maybe someday it might come back. But right now I do not have it.
Yes. Well, for me, then I'll use myself as an example. I do spiritual services. I have energy healing. I have a retail store. I teach classes. Then on top of that, I have a blog. I have a YouTube channel that's monetized. I have an Instagram that's monetized. I have multiple forms of income. So I can branch out into different areas at any time. I'm licensed in Reiki therapy. I have certifications in psychoanalysis and hypnotherapy. So I can branch out into all these different areas. I can pivot at any time because the economy is unpredictable and environmental factors are unpredictable as well. So if I, like with the tariffs, a lot of people stopped selling retail and a lot of people got priced out of retail with the tariffs. I can stop doing retail and do more services or do more on social media. You have to be able to pivot and you have to be able to sell yourself in different ways that promotes your product.
Yeah, that's very good that you say that, because I know a lot of models. I've heard about a lot of models that, they can pay the bills because modeling is it's glamorous, but it's not as easy as people make it to look like.
Yes.
Though I've heard about a lot of models, or I've known a lot of models that can pay their bills and they're all like, oh, it's modeling. But in reality, it's like, you have to be able to find something extra. I'm a model. I do the shows. I walk, right? But I still
walk, honey.
I still know that I have to have other source of income.
Yes.
I'm doing the podcast. I'm doing my swimwear brand. I'm doing I do sometimes somewhat of influencing. I've done like different things, but it's like, in all these things I do, they are all collectively very similar, and I love all of them, and I'm sticking to all of them. And before then, I already did I've worked in the health field, I work in the medical field, but it's like you have to be able to do all those things to find your ground and do not stay in a particular spot when you see there is no progress, because at the end of the day, someone has to pay the bills and someone has to be realistic.
Yes, and I love that you mentioned your medical history because I'm also a licensed esthetician. Now I'm studying to get my real estate license.
I did real estate classes too.
Yeah.
I went to Gold Coast.
And this is a great way to use your skills that you have naturally because you're a great people's person and you can sell an outfit, honey, so she can sell a house. So you always have to diversify. You always have to be aware of what's going on in the market and your surroundings and be willing to put yourself out there.
Yeah, listen, having multiple sources of income does not hurt. And I really
Yes.
think that is a great source of, that should be a great source of soft life.
Yeah.
Because when you're at ease, you can take care of your bills. You don't need no man. I mean, granted, if the man comes, it's good. Because we don't want a man that is broke. I mean, for me, listen, I'm working so hard.
Yes.
I need someone to match my energy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm working
Absolutely.
hard. I have all this multiple source of income. I need someone to match my energy. So I don't want someone that is going to be a liability as a guy. Because from where I come from, the man takes care of the household naturally. So I don't want a broke guy. I want somebody that is already somewhere and we can build with, we can build together, or is already there. Because I am working hard. I'm a girl that is going to do my stuff. I pay my bills with or without you. So if you're coming into my life, you have to be able to improve. You know what I mean? So
Yes,
if you're in
I
this
do
situation,
understand.
you know what I mean. You do not need a broke guy.
And going back to being an entrepreneur is not for everyone. You have to have a certain mindset. So as a woman entrepreneur, even a male entrepreneur, there takes a certain kind of person who's compatible with the way that you think because you're constantly on the go. Your mind is always going and
Amen.
you have a confidence about yourself that most people don't have. A lot of people don't believe in their dreams and actually pursue it and have no backing. Like for me, I have no plan B. It's only plan A. I could technically fall back on something, but that's not the plan. The plan is to be successful in my business, Harmonic Bliss Wellness. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, you're already doing it. So
Yes, and most businesses, I forget the exact percentages, but most businesses that people start don't last past 18 months. So if you are an entrepreneur watching this and you've hit that 18-month mark, congratulations to you. And if you have not hit that mark, strive to surpass that mark and set a new standard, a new statistic for entrepreneurs, because a lot of people, they think they can start a business, and I encourage everyone to start a business, but a lot of people don't have that stamina, that perseverance to keep going, because it comes with a lot of rejection. It is very hard when you're getting reviews and people tell you they don't like what it is that you're offering, or they don't agree with your pricing. People find a million different things to give negative feedback about, and it takes really thick skin to be able to surpass that, and then also to push past your own personal limitations based on what you've grown up with and what your environment is. Like, I moved to Miami from San Francisco because I didn't feel like I was being inspired enough, and I was on sabbatical when I came here, but being around all the creators and the entrepreneurs here, it pushed me out of that sabbatical to say, you know what, I gotta get back up on that horse and ride it like a cowgirl. Gotta ride, you know. So it does take a certain kind of person to be an entrepreneur. It's not easy by any means, but it is extremely fulfilling.
And honestly, not everybody is meant to be an entrepreneur. Let's be honest. Not everybody is meant. No, it's not meant for everybody, because think about it. Everybody want to be an entrepreneur. Who is going to be the one to work in the grocery store? Somebody has to be there.
Yes.
And not everybody have what it takes.
Yes.
It's a game, and the survivor of the fittest.
Yes.
So it's not an easy game. You have to know what you want.
I was
and if
just
you're
talking
really gonna
about
do that.
the survival of the
It's
fittest.
the survivor of the fittest.
It is.
Do you know how many times I'm like, oh my God, am I really doing the right thing?
Yes.
I feel that. I'm like, am I really? Is it really happening?
Yes.
But yeah, it takes a lot. It's not, you can just wake up and be like, you want to do that, because not everybody are born to be leaders. It's sad, but it's the fact.
It's a fact. There's more
Not everybody's
followers
born
than
to be
leaders
leaders.
in this world. But if you want to try it, I definitely encourage you to. We need more people to believe in the beauty of the dreams, because that's who the future belongs to. So try it. Please try it.
Babe, you know, it comes very natural.
If it comes to you.
It
yes.
comes very natural,
Yeah.
because the people that are entrepreneurs, they think about it because they know they can, and when they
Yeah.
get there, they don't stop, and they
There's
do
a
it.
saying in the Bay Area where I'm from, it's not on you, it's in you.
Exactly. So like, it's not like, oh, you want to try it. No, the people that think about it, they're supposed to be the ones. I've met people that tell me firsthand, I don't want to do it. I don't want to run the company. I don't want to go through that, because that's not what they want to do, and they know it, and you can tell, right? But the ones that are supposed to do it, they even know it before they start thinking about it, because they know that's what they're meant for. So it's not a trial. It's just who you are. And if
Yes.
that's not who you are, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So that's that. And if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
You know. That's another
But
one.
like I said, I think everyone should try it, because we need more people to have that awareness that if you try it, you'll just gain a deeper respect. And if it's not for you, you'll gain a deeper respect for the people who are doing it, you know? So that's how I see it.
I guess. I mean, every no. But I do
Yeah.
get it. I do. Yeah, I respect that. What would you tell someone watching this, doing a business, and it's very difficult right now, and you want the person to stay soft and just keep pushing? What would you tell them? What's going to be your advice to them?
Rejection is a great form of feedback. So if you want to stay soft as an entrepreneur, look at what's not working and use that as data to strategize what can work for you. Every rejection is a compass toward what is right for you. So continue trying. There's a trial and error with everything that you do, and no one has gotten to a level of success without failing 100 times. You lack experience if you don't fail. You have to fail to become more resilient. And like FAQs on websites, a lot of FAQs or policies were built because something went wrong. So you have to have something go wrong, something go left, or something to be rejected to be able to bounce back and build something stronger than before. So take it as a part of your journey. Don't take it personally, because it's a business. At the end of the day, it's not you, it's the business. So take that as feedback and just continue to improve.
Well, guys, you've heard from Ashley, and we are so honored to have you back here again.
Thank you.
And please, guys, if you're watching this, subscribe and follow No Filter with Queen Mary for all the amazing episode dropping every Wednesdays. And also sign up for the Soft Life Accelerated class, because yes, she has me sitting down here, I've already learned a lot, and there's a lot of things you can learn from this class. Her info is in the bio. And Ashley, if you just want to tell them your Instagram again, just, you can just say here and just.
Absolutely. So again, my name is Ashley, and you can follow my business page at Harmonic, HARMONIC.Bliss, BLISS, and we are on YouTube as well under Harmonic Bliss. And then my website is harmonicbliss.com, so you can find me in those areas.
Well, thank you so much, Ashley, and we are very, very happy that you came. And again, soft life is not just about luxury. So if you're watching this, you're going through rough parts in your life, you know where to go. Go to that class, you probably need it. And stay tuned for the next episode. Ashley,
yes,
I want you to say, I know the last time you did a test, but now there's no test, but I do want you to say something in my language before you leave.
Can I learn something in Igbo?
Oh, yes, I'm going to tell you something.
Okay, teach me.
Say, what am I going to tell you to say now? Say, ngabiozo.
Ngabioso.
That's kind of sexy the way you said it. I mean, you didn't really sound the same, but it's very close. I'll give you that. It means I'll come again.
Okay, say it again.
Ngabiozo.
Ngabioso. Ngabioso.
Thank you so much, Ashley, for joining us today. And again, you are always amazing.
Thank you.
And yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone. Love you so much.